Welcome to Ghetto and Janko Wednesdays at Lunch,
Burger
Edition.
Did you sing a little bit there?
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of half committed to it.
That's all right. It's a lot of pressure. It's the one thing we can't really do any differently.
Yeah, more or less. Even though you do it differently almost every time.
I try, but it really just comes out to me kind of muttering something. You're not sure if I even said it.
So this week we went to the Main, up on Saint Laurent Street, not too far from the world famous Schwartz, little place called Patati Patata.
Patati Patata.
Yeah. It's probably the most fun name of a place we've ever been to. I like to say it fast usually. Patati Patata.
Yeah. It's a weird one. What is it? It's a potato.
But yeah, I guess it would be the French potato. To me, it was just like potato nonsense. But yeah, no, you make a good point there.
Potato nonsense is the best kind of nonsense.
Well, I mean, that's what you would say, Matthew, because you're a big potato man, as we've discussed.
Potato fiend.
Numerous times on this show.
Man.
Right. So we ventured out to Mount Royal Metro on this relatively lovely Wednesday afternoon. Wasn't too hot, even though we've just gone through a bit of a heat wave. It was a little muggy today, but pretty nice.
I don't know what was nice about it.
Well, you know, it was not a sweaty hot day.
I love that.
Oh, do you really?
No, I actually hate it, but I don't like the humid. I don't like when it's hot and the sun's not out.
It was cool and humid, though.
All right. Yeah, there was a bit of a breeze.
It was muggy, but it wasn't like, oh, God, it's unbearable. I'm sweating. I don't think I've wiped my brow yet once today.
All right. I apologize for interrupting.
So we went out to Patati Patata, a colorful little exterior on the place, some weird misshapen windows that look like strange islands. And it's a small little joint. Matthew, what were you have never been to Patati Patata before?
No, I was just following you blindly.
So what was your first impressions once we arrived?
I was very surprised that we were there because I just thought this trip would last forever. You made me follow you around. I felt like maybe there wasn't even a burger place. Maybe this was just
It was a ruse.
Yeah, a Wednesday ruse. But no, you brought me there. It was a lot smaller than I thought, because all of a sudden we were standing there and there were people standing outside, and I think you tried to bypass them.
I did.
And go right in front, and they were like, well, we're in line. And I was blown away that there was a line.
See, now this, I wasn't blown away. I thought even last night as I was checking out where we would go today, they might be busy. But when we passed by and came around the corner, I looked at the bar and saw that there were 2 seats open.
Yeah.
And then when those 2 girls sort of didn't let us pass them because they were in line, they were waiting for a table, not the 2 seats of the bar that we ultimately took. Once they moved in and took that table, we just walked into the 2 seats at the bar. Yeah. We had no damn reason to be standing outside, except that they were bogarting the door for no damn good reason.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, I understand now that why there was a line, because of what, there's 9 places to sit down inside?
We counted, I think it was like a dozen or 13, something like that.
There's 5 at the bar, and then like
2, 4. I think there were 3 tables, so another 2, 4, 6, plus the 5. That brings us to 11, and maybe another 3 at the front bar by the window. So, less than 15.
I want to go back to not Capole. I want to go back to Cosmos and figure out which one was smaller, truly.
See, the thing is, Cosmos just had the bar and no tables, and I feel like we counted, and it was like 9 seats.
All right.
I feel like Cosmos is still a little smaller, probably still the smallest place we've gone to, but it's pretty close.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Another difference between Cosmos and Patati Patata was Cosmos had like 1 person working, and I don't think I've ever seen more than 3 people working there. This place had 5 people working for less than 15 customers.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I don't know what everyone was doing.
They all looked really busy. Nobody was just
Everyone looked busy, One person it looked like they were just opening and closing the floor panel, and there was always someone going down into the floor.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I heard a sound that I thought was maybe someone doing something like that.
They had like a big hook on a stick to keep opening the door, and like a little guy kept popping out and looking left and right and then zipping back down.
I
I don't know
did
what he
not
was up
notice
to, but little gopher man works there.
I want to go back and check him out.
See what's going on down there.
It's surprising I missed anything because it's such a small place. I felt like I was in the kitchen. I felt like I was cooking stuff.
More or less. I mean, our burgers were fried, a foot or two away from us?
Yeah.
Really, really close. So once we got in, we looked at the menu. As far as burgers go, very simple burger menu. There's the burger, a fish burger, and then I think a tofu burger.
Yeah.
Costs an extra 65 cents to add cheese. Same price to add bacon. And the hamburger is a $2.75 burger. Real nice, cheap price. So once we got the burger, you were thinking, oh, what were you thinking, Matthew, before I mentioned the poutine?
I was thinking just probably fries, and I was looking at the menu. I was really hungry because I hadn't eaten much. Didn't have breakfast, didn't have... the last time I ate was probably like 10 o'clock the night before.
Yeah, about the same for me. Same for me.
So I was ready. I was ready for some food, and I was also very tired, and I felt like I needed a lot of food to fuel
You need that
me.
energy to make up the difference.
Yeah, you saw I even had trouble sitting down. I was just a little in a daze. I was a little dizzy.
You were. When I met up with you, Matthew, you'd just gotten off an early shift at work, and you mentioned to me how you wanted to sleep basically the whole time.
Oh, yeah. It's not too much work to do at that time. So the thought of pulling together some nice some seats, some pillows, and just tucking myself in for a few hours, just cocooning away, and waking up as a fresh butterfly sounded real nice.
See, now, Matthew, I feel like this is a thing for you at work. I'm sure everyone gets tired at work. I guess less so lately for me, where I've been... more of my jobs have been evening jobs when I'm working on my feet. And when you're on your feet, you aren't like ready to fall asleep as easily. And when it's the evening, you have all day to sleep in. It's not an issue. I don't have to wake up early for work. Back when I had a morning office job, sometimes I'd be very sleepy at work. But, you have a few coffees and you stare at your computer screen and keep clicking away to stay awake. But now, Matthew, I feel like you in the past have taken... every opportunity you have to sleep at work.
Oh, yes. There's not a job out there that I can't find a place to fall asleep at. Let me see. I've fallen asleep riding a golf cart before.
Wait, hold on. While driving?
While at work.
Well, no, you're driving the golf cart and you fell asleep while the golf cart was in motion?
Yeah.
Fell asleep at the wheel of a golf cart?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Woke up after I crashed into a bunch of beach chairs.
All right, okay. You want to explain that a little better?
You worked at that place once. It was
okay. So this is the place where they at the beginning of your 12-hour beach cleanup shift, they hand you 2 balls of water and 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming this was in your phase where you decided you could just stock up on your Red Bulls and keep them at home.
Yeah, power through the night and have a fridge full of Red Bull. But
instead, you fell asleep and crashed into a bunch of lawn chairs.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few times where stuff like that happened. I mean, I have to rake a whole beach. And it's, short of doing it...
In the middle of the night.
Sorry?
In the middle of the night on top of that.
No, I would do this just at the crack of dawn.
I find that's an even tougher time to stay awake.
Yeah.
Because it's very rare that I'm up and at 'em so early in the morning to see the crack of dawn. It's much more frequently that I'm still awake at the crack of dawn going oh my God, I can't believe I'm still awake. I need to go to sleep now.
Yeah. That's usually how I would feel at the crack of dawn.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very sick feeling. Like the
bit.
air is sticky and cold.
Yeah.
But the sun's hot and it's uncomfortable.
It's a confusing set of feelings.
Yeah. And so, you try to stay awake. You keep closing your eyes and you're like, okay, I got a straight line that's going to last me 10 seconds. I'm going to close my eyes for 9 seconds. And you doze off and then you wake up and you don't know what happened. And it's, that time is probably the least scary time. And there was one time I was driving a truck around the beach to pick up garbage. And first of all, driving a truck on the beach is not a good idea.
It's not ideal. Also because correct me if I'm wrong, you don't have a driver's license.
No, but I'm also on private property. I'm on a beach. That must be okay. Two wrongs make a right. Anyway,
these two wrongs may, in this particular case, cancel each other out or something.
I drove that truck into the lake.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I was
really
just thinking before how you're lucky you didn't drive the golf cart into the lake.
Golf cart I'd be okay with, because with the truck I hadn't slept very much, so I didn't fall asleep at the wheel, but I was making actions and making choices that someone who slept wouldn't make.
You were erratic.
Yeah, I was just like, well, I'm not going to take the safe part of the beach because this is faster. I'm just going to zoom around here. It's going to be fine because I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. And I went into the water a little bit, thinking I would just turn the truck around. Mm-hmm. And no, the truck just kind of kept going in the water. And, the sand is wet.
Very wet, yeah.
It just kind of absorbed the truck. And when you get something stuck, you got to back up, go forward, back up, get yourself a nice groove.
I don't know about in the mud, in sand mud as well. In snow, that's the way to work because you've packed down the snow into a groove. And so you kind of rock yourself out of the groove. Yeah. For sand, I feel like you're just going to get yourself deeper in the sand mud.
Well, that's what I thought, Sebastian, and you wouldn't be wrong. Now, the only thing is I prayed at one point. I was like, okay, this is my last shot, because I was only maybe the front tires deep into the
the back tires were still in the relatively dry sand.
But by the end of me rocking forward and going back, I was back tires into the lake as well.
Was this because you had rocked just forward basically and not rocked back, or was the tide rising?
No, it happened within a short period of time.
Okay.
So maybe 20 minutes.
All right.
Panicking, but this is maybe 1 a.m, and I'd be able to.
So it is high tide, though.
Yeah, I guess so. I could have just waited for the tide to go down. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But there was a point where the water was coming in at the bottom of that door.
Oh no, you got pretty deep.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, this is my last shot. I'm moving forward a bit. I really shouldn't, and then moving back, and hopefully I get out." And I got out.
Really?
I was so happy.
So you didn't no one caught you?
No one caught me. I was there alone, which is all the worse because I'm going to have to call somebody. It's
then they're like, why did you drive into the lake? And you're like,
I'm tired.
I was trying to take a shorter route.
Just
drive right through the lake.
All around the lake, but I could just drive through it. Anyway, so sleep definitely has its benefits, I think. But I've fallen asleep many places. You and me, we've fallen asleep at work together. We used to take shifts.
That's true. I feel like this is another Tales of the Vortex. Back when we worked at this factory creating splash pads, like when you find those big flowers or elephants that kids spray each other with on the hot summer days. We worked at the factory that makes those. Yeah. And for a good chunk of that summer, we were working in the stock room up above the main factory floor, where we were doing a long and slow and thorough inventory of everything there. Yeah. And because we knew we were just the two of us locked away in this inventory room, just counting things in what felt like such a long, slow, mundane job, we figured we can milk this a little bit. And we started taking, part of the inventory, part of the stock that was up there were huge rolls of bubble wrap.
Oh, yeah.
So we started taking advantage of that and taking shifts sleeping on the bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Now, Matthew, what would you do when I was sleeping on bubble wrap?
I'd probably just sit on a chair and,
Well, we'd kind of stand guard for each other.
We would kind of stand guard, but the door was closed, and I think it might have even been locked.
I think it may have been locked. Like someone would have to knock at the door, and we'd be like, "Oh, hey, what do you need?
Yeah,
let me get it for you because I know exactly where it is because I'm doing inventory."
Yeah,
and if someone knocked at the door, you'd spring up and wake me up. I'd tumble off a shelf,
and then just pretend you're rifling through something.
Yeah, exactly, and then be like, "How many? Oh God, I gotta count this again."
Yeah, we seemed very busy up there. I mean, one of the things I would do to keep myself busy while you were sleeping was I had a big pile of boxes, and I would cut the boxes up, make them flat. Mm-hmm. Once it was done, and I had maybe 20, 30 boxes cut up and flattened, I would build those boxes back up again, tape them all back,